Hello everyone, this is Janice with cricketology.blogspot.com, and today I'm making a card from the Pagoda cartridge, but this card is for a challenge for Card Creations and More by C. Make your own background paper. And so I learned this from Jennifer McGuire on Hero Arts on YouTube. So let's get started. Love this technique. I'm using this stamp set, Asian by Design from Inkadinkado. I got it on clearance at Michael's for $3.99. Yay! And I've always wanted it ever since I got the Pagoda cartridge and kept putting it off, and it paid off. So I'm very excited. Okay, so what we're going to start with is a I can never remember measurements. Did I write it? Yes. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 piece of white paper from Recollections. And what I'm going to do to this paper is use my tea dye ink, distress ink, and I'm going to just distress it a little bit. And I'm going to focus. Ooh, this has wild honey on it, but you know what, we're just gonna go with it here because it's okay. So what I'm gonna do is just focus on the side where I am going to stamp that bamboo, and then I'm just gonna go lightly everywhere else. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I've got this Fisker's stamp thingy. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's got the little feet, and I am really glad this is a purchase that I made with my friends because we got some big background stamps, and I am so glad I made this purchase. I can't believe I've waited this long to get it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this bamboo over on this corner, and I love it because you can just kind of align your stamp and not, you know, it's just not as awkward. So I'm very happy with it. Okay, so you can't see it because I used the Versamark, but what we're going to do is called the resist technique, and I really should have set this ink first, and I didn't do that, and I didn't do it for my sample either, so it should be okay, but it's a good idea to do that because distress ink is very wet, and my embossing powder is going to want to stick to it as well. But we're just going to flick it and see if we can get most of it off of the areas where we don't want it. And I don't know if you can hear that, but it's not the 4th of July anymore, and someone's doing fireworks in a storm nonetheless. I don't know why they're doing that. Okay, so now I'm going to heat emboss this, or heat set it. Want it to melt the embossing powder. It's just clear embossing powder. I know I didn't say that, but that's what it is. Okay, good enough. Alright, so now what we're going to do, and then there you can see my bamboo. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to change this pad to the red, and we're going to add some red, and everywhere where there's distress ink, it's going to resist this ink. So I'm just going to go very lightly. I don't want to overdo it with the red, and I'm going to do it in like 3 places. think I'll change. This was barn door. Change my pad. Some people have one for every color, one of these wooden thingies, but I don't want to spend that much, so just have a couple. And do the same with the blue. I'm just going to add a touch of bluish, which is coming in some areas. It's mixing with the yellow, so it's coming up green, which is fine. And then now we'll do the wild honey. The blue is broken china. Okay. Now what we're going to do is take a cloth, a dried cloth, and just kind of go over these areas. Whoops, I didn't mean to wrinkle it up like that. And I think I did it a little bit too dark. So if you can see this one better than you can see this one. Okay. So each is going to be different. It's just kind of one of those random kind of things. And I'm going to use a stamp I got from Michael's, You Bring Joy. So I just think that little panda is delightful. And just think God is awesome, the way he created animals so creatively. So brings me joy. Okay, and I'm using the Stays On ink. Just make sure it didn't bleed or anything. And then I'm going to back this on a black piece that is 4 1/4 by 5 no, the black piece is 4 by 5 1/4. That's what it is. The black. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, and then this is going to go on this 8.5 by 11 piece of red paper from Recollections, and I cut it down in half at 4 1/2. And I'm just gonna fold it in half and use my bone folder. I haven't actually been using my scoreboard for this. I use it for other things. And then that's gonna go there. And so that's the way to make, one way to make background paper. I've been learning lots of great things from the Hero Arts channel, which has always been a favorite of mine. But I've been watching it a lot lately. And then here's my little panda, and he's cut at 2 1/2 from Pagoda cartridge. And I'm just gonna, he's just 2 layers. I decided not to cut out the shadow because I didn't think I really needed it. Just putting some adhesive here. Okay, then I'm gonna add some for his eyes. I'm using white brads, tiny ones. And then I'm going to use a glaze pen